Flintshire, northeast Wales. A land filled with dark and mysterious tales of spirits and hauntings finds perhaps its most chilling in the foreboding confines of a 17th century Jacobean mansion. Plas Teg.
Plas Teg was originally built in 1610 by Sir John Trevor, and Plas Teg means fair house, fair mansion. But I think you could look at the house's history over the centuries, and it's got anything but a fair history. It's dark, it's gruesome, it's full of bloodthirsty deeds and sorrowful events. You have to remember that when Plas Teg was built, we're living in the age of witchcraft, when there was a great battle going on between the forces of Christian religion and the much darker, older pagan beliefs. It's noticeable in this house that Sir John Trevor, as far as we know, had a witch sign carved on the fireplace in the Great Hall. And this was designed to prevent evil spirits from coming in down the chimney. Now, looking at the history of the house, clearly it was one of those symbols that really didn't work.
Yet, for one man, unaware of the house's history, the offer of lodging in Plas Teg with the mansion owner, while he did some work there, was one he found too tempting to resist.
Our family business at the time was accountancy, and we handled the books for Plas Teg. Within a couple of days of moving in, I just woke up in the middle of the night. Sound was as if 20 or 30 people were stamping, thundering up and down on the floor above. It's just shock and great confusion. I mean, I knew there was just the two of us there in the house.
But within a matter of days, Mark would become convinced that it was not just he and the owner that walked the mansion. But now, it was not just Mark Ridgway who felt he was experiencing strange events. They were also reported on the road outside the mansion.
I worked the area around Plas Teg Hall for about 15 years, and on a regular basis I used to get telephone calls and callers at the police station saying there was a woman walking along the dual carriageway near Plas Teg. I found it strange that every time I went there I couldn't find anything. I recall one instance where a young lady reported having struck a pedestrian on the road outside Plas Teg Hall, which resulted in the force sending out a helicopter and a search dog to look for a casualty.
The driver claimed that after she hit the woman pedestrian, she could see no sign of the victim. The police, with a helicopter team surveying the road and nearby fields, could also find no trace. Mark Ridgway was facing his last night in Plas Teg.
felt as if somebody's face was right in my face. It was there.
Mark left the mansion, never to return. But there were still reports of strange happenings on the road outside Plas Teg. A number of cars had crashed coming off the dual carriageway, with no other vehicles involved.
It was about 10:30. I was on my way to Wrexham to meet a friend, and as I was driving, hit the brakes and skidded the car. It was like a thud, and I just sat there, absolutely petrified. Half of me wanted to get out and look, but the other half of me, I just remember having my hands on the steering wheel and my knuckles were white. It's just an awful feeling to think that you've killed somebody. The police officer knocked on my window. He asked me, was I all right? And I said no, I wasn't. You know, I said, I think I've hit somebody, a girl, and could he go and look for me? The police officer came back and he said there's no one there. I just thought, well, there's got to be. Well, there's got to be somebody there. I didn't think they believed me, actually, that I'd actually seen somebody until I described what the lady looked like. And he said, well, haven't you heard? What? About the ghost.
Could Plas Teg's dark history hold the key to the sightings on the nearby road?
Sir John Trevor had a daughter, Dorothy, and as was common then, rich families would try to marry into rich families. They had somebody lined up, a sort of nobleman with a good estate in Cheshire.
Yet Dorothy did not agree with her father's plans for marriage and plotted to run away with her true love, a local farmer's son.
Now, a week before they eloped, Dorothy took some family jewels and hid them in the well nearby to the house.
Dorothy and her lover arranged to make their escape under the cover of night. But first, she walked alone to retrieve the hidden jewellery that would fund their future happiness.
She made her way to the well in the dark, and because she obviously couldn't show a light in case someone saw where she was going, she couldn't find the hiding place. And in her panic to find them, slipped and fell down the well.
As Dorothy lay in darkness, her distraught lover thought that he had been jilted.
The farmer's son hung himself from the tree where they'd arranged to meet, and barely 2 days later, Dorothy's body was finally recovered from the well, where she'd died.
Does local folklore offer too convenient an explanation? That the figure seen by drivers is the ghost of the tragic daughter? Perhaps. But consider this, the route that would have reunited the lovers cuts across the road.